Good. All right.
All right. Whew. All right. Welcome back to Untamed and Unapologetic. I'm Laura, and I'm here with my sister Christy. And this is episode 11. And today we're going to have a real talk because too many people are chasing the easy button when it comes to fitness and nutrition. And, everybody wants to eat all of the junk and skip the workouts and somehow feel like we're going to wake up and we're going to be energetic and we're going to have the body of our dreams. And, let's be honest, that is not how it works. Unfortunately, we do not respond to shortcuts and quick fixes, and that is the easy button. And you get stuck, and you actually need a mindset shift. We're going to give you the best no BS tips on exercise and nutrition so you can start moving towards getting results. Because if you're ready to stop chasing the easy button and start living strong, this episode is for you. Uh, so, yeah, stop looking for easy. Stop looking for easy is what we're gonna talk about today, really. And yeah, that's what today's episode is all about because
You can't out trick your biology.
you can't out trick your biology. It really, um, yeah, you cannot, you can't out trick your biology. People want to, you know, go to the gym all week. Like I work out 5 times a week, but then they on the weekend, like it's crash and burn. It's eat a bunch of junk and
Sleep in, or not that
so,
you can.
not that you can't, enjoy a good, a meal that isn't maybe the best for you, right? Not that it doesn't mean you can never eat pizza again.
Right.
We're not talking about that, but yeah,
Yeah, I'll give a quick example of what
yeah.
I've
Give an example.
I've seen is people, well, women, because I deal with, I work with women most of the time. They'll be like, I've gained weight and I don't know. Oh, I remember we were talking about this before I get there, that there's studies. I read a study, it was a while ago, that your metabolism actually does not slow down biologically until we're in our 60s. But it seems like women in their like late 40s or early 40s, sometimes 50s, it's like we hit menopause, perimenopause, like our hormones do change. And it's
Mhm.
like all of a sudden I have this weight. And this is women that were always like the skinny ones, right? These are the someone like they can eat what they want. They're like, all of a sudden I gained this 10, 15 pounds. I cannot lose it. And it just catches up with you. And a lot of times your lifestyle changes. And so I'm like, look at
Mhm.
exactly what you are doing, right? What are you doing that's different that you didn't do like 20 years ago? You're probably not moving as much, or you have some more responsibilities. Sometimes we have more responsibilities as we age. Um, and the truth is, we're not really truthful with ourselves. And I do it myself. I do the same thing because I was like, oh, I can't lose those last 5 pounds or what, and I was like, and I'm working out every day. This is what goes on in my mind. But then I'm like,
Right.
if I'm really, really truthful with myself, it's like, oh, I shouldn't have had that snack, or, I didn't fast how I was said I was going to, or I ate late at night that one night. So it's, if we're really truthful with ourselves, that's why like journaling sometimes helps, like writing it down, because you're like, oh, I don't want to write that down. I wasn't supposed to eat
Right.
or
Did
bite.
I really eat that? All that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So women will tell me, I'll get on the phone, like, I can't lose the weight. And then we'll go through, okay, let's go through your day to day. Let's go through a weekend. Let's go through a regular work day. And they're like, oh, I work out. And they work out and they eat healthy. But then they're like, oh, I had those 2 glasses of wine on um 2 days this week. And I'm like, that could be really preventing you. So you have to decide. And we were talking about this the other day too,
Yeah.
like, is it worth it to you? Do you really want to make the change? Because in reality, you're going to have to shift some things. You're going to have to probably give up. And most programs are like, eat whatever you want and still lose weight. And it's just not the truth, right?
It's not.
And you can get away with certain things, but if you have to create a calorie deficit. That's just, and it could be through the diets, is that's how we do it. Oh, keto or this diet, and find the right diet that's sustainable to you. That's the whole
For
thing.
you. right.
sustainable for
What's
you?
going to work for
Right.
you,
What's going
right?
to work
Yeah,
for you, right?
yeah.
What do you think
Like,
is,
yeah, like I have a male friend who, he was doing some fasting because I fast, but it really wasn't working well for him. He just didn't.
hmm,
He did give it a good go,
yeah,
um, and it just didn't work well for him. But now he's trying keto, and it just sort of it. He does notice though getting off like the sugar, yeah, really well. So the keto seems to be, and I think not uber strict keto, but starting out that way initially, being really strict about it, but then sort of weaning on, but sort of leaning that way seems to be better for him.
yeah.
He's in
Keto, I
his mid
feel is
50s, but everyone's a little different. You've got to sort of create a balance, and yeah, like it works better for him, right? That's, it's not for me, right? And that's okay, right? That you've got to kind of choose what's going to work for you. But consistency is the key. You can't go all in on keto, for example. Let's say if you go all in on keto for, let's say, 4 months, right?
yeah,
You're going to lose weight, 100%. You're going to lose some weight. You're going to lose weight. But then you stop and you go back to the way you were eating, like all this sugar, all this whatever. Guess what?
yeah,
It's just going to all come back. So that doesn't mean you have to stay all in on keto the whole time, but maybe now you work in some carbohydrates to your diet, but sort of that keto is the basis now of your diet for the rest of your life,
rest of your life.
consistently,
And
right? Yeah.
that's the trigger.
And
Yeah.
that's right. That whatever, we're just using keto as an example. It could be,
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Can
could
you,
be it could be
right,
vegan, it could be whatever,
right.
what works best for you or whatever. But it is that, so it's consistency. It's not easy. I think I'll get the comment like, oh, what do you do for your arms? They're so muscular. I'm like, well, I've been with lifting weights for like 30
Oh,
years.
yeah.
Lift weights for 30 years.
And heavy, but you lift heavy weights.
Right. Lift weights for 30 years.
Deadlift,
And
you squat, yeah, yeah. Very,
like, for a long time. And like, it's not like I just, yeah, it's been a long time.
let's get
It's been
into,
consistency.
yeah, let's get into specific things because people like specifics. Like what things do you do? Because there's certain habits that you do, especially as you to stay motivated and to stay like relatively healthy, relatively lean in your later years. What things besides, I mean, you are a fitness person. You
Right.
teach fitness. So for
Right.
you, it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's
Right.
like your job.
It's
But
kind of right.
what
Yeah.
would you recommend to somebody that's like, how do I maintain or I hate working out and I love to party or I love to, what certain things that are simple that people could do to kind of get in the habit
Right.
of that lifestyle?
Right. You know, First and foremost, you have to find something that you enjoy. So, you know, you have to move, right? So, is it Zumba class? Is it dancing? Is it walking? Is it tennis? Is it something? Is there some sort of movement-based activity that you enjoy?
Hmm.
Start there. There's got to be something. There's got to
Yeah.
be something that you like to do that's movement based. You can't tell me, okay, maybe you hate to exercise. You can't tell me that there's not any sort of movement that you don't like to do. Come on, what do you like to sit on the couch and be a blob? Is that real? Are you really telling me, like slovenly? That's really that's your life. That's what you want to do. You want to sit on the couch. That's it. Because come on, that doesn't seem that doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah.
I can't. If that is what you like to do, then I would say maybe you need to see a psychiatrist because you have depression. Now, I can't diagnose you, but that would be my guess.
You have to get in the habit. I
Right,
think
right, 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 right. So I would say, first of all, find something that makes you move, right? So
that you like.
try different things. Like maybe it's, like I said, maybe it's tennis, maybe it's pickleball, maybe it's Zumba class, maybe it's whatever, something that gets you to move,
Yeah.
right? Start there. That's a good start. fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to slice it, weightlifting is key
Yes. You
for
have to,
women
yes. Yes. I
in
would
in
say
fitness.
yes,
You have to.
yeah, even if you don't like it, do it. Like I do not like squats. I hate it. I hate doing my squats. I don't like really like leg day. So what I've been doing is I've been doing it more. So it's instead of like dreading it, I'm like, even if I don't go heavy one day, I'll just go in the gym and do like air squats along with my workout in between
Mhm.
for body day. Cause I'm
Sets. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I do not like it. And it's just
yeah,
like, right, but I'll
yeah,
do it more. So it gets easier the more you do it, right? It's routine.
yeah. The better you get at something too, the
Better.
more you like it, the better you get at something. But you do, and I know, hiring a good trainer, and I know it can be it can be pricey. I understand that, but even occasionally going in to see someone that can help you, even if it's once or twice a month, and just, you know, the workout that you do with them, just sort of repeat it,
Mhm.
and people get in this thing in their head that they have to change up their workout so much. Really, yes, you do, but not so much like people think. Like, think about it. Baseball. Let's think of think about baseball. A pitcher.
Mhm.
Why are they good at pitching? What do they do?
You do it
They
over and
throw the ball a lot, over and over
I would say, yeah,
and
even
over
literally
and
yes,
over.
go to the gym, pick 3 to 5 exercises, like literally simple exercises, like 3 to
Right.
5. And that I do this a lot because I'm like,
Yeah.
when I'm like stuck, I don't feel like the gym. I'm like, I write down 5 exercises, like a push, a pull, a squat,
Pull. Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
just do those basic exercises because there's
Right.
all these
Right.
apps now. Yeah, there's apps, there's YouTube, you could do a million things, but I was like,
Just keep it simple. And those, like the big movements, a squat and any variation, like a leg press, a lunge, a walking lunge, a step up, and then like a pull, like a deadlift, anything like that. And then a push. So anything like a push up or any pushing motion, a overhead press, a chest press, and then a pulling motion, a row, a pull down, a pull up, an assisted pull up. Women can do pull ups. You just have to work at it. Women can do push ups. You just have to work at it. But and you have to work up to going heavy as a woman. And I think women get afraid of that as well. We don't have to lift the pink little weights. Lifting heavy does not make you bulky. I think um, the advent of CrossFit bringing weightlifting sort of to the forefront back in, like, sort of thing, I think has been really good, but I also think it's not been so good in that, you know, if you watch it, like if you see a flash of it on social media, or if you happen to catch like the CrossFit games, like when you're changing a channel on TV or whatever, you're seeing like the top of the top. Well, those women are, it would be like a professional baseball player, the top of the top, right? Well, yeah, they're very muscular and whatever.
yeah,
You're not going to look like that.
no, yeah, most people don't.
It's not good. You're not going to look like that. So you can lift really heavy and not look like that. So yeah, but you have to, like, the 5 pound weight, you have to challenge yourself. You have to get rid of the 5 pound dumbbells. Like,
I
stop.
don't think, yeah, I
So
don't think
yeah.
they're doing enough. Um,
Yeah.
let's see.
So
Then when it
yeah.
shifts
So
into, so yeah, working out, just simple, get in the gym. I think
simple
walking is a running,
walking.
fine, but walking is so huge. Like if you can get up and walk an extra half hour, even an hour, like our bodies are meant to walk, we're not meant to sit. So it's like
No.
combating how our society lives. It's like we're supposed to be
Yeah.
the opposite.
Right. I know. Yeah.
And then when
Get up and
get
move.
up, move, take, people say take the stairs, but whenever I go to Target, there's like no one taking the stairs. There's
I
always an
know. I'm like the idiot taking the stairs. Yeah, take the
only
stairs.
one
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
airport too. Like no one takes.
I know. I take the stairs out the airport all the time. I know. Yeah. I'm like, I'm
Um,
not waiting behind these people.
yeah.
I can't do it. Yeah.
And then with nutrition, I would say there's so again, there's so many different diets, so many way to do it. I think that in our mindset that we think that we have to eat constantly or 3 days, 3 times a day. And I had a client, she's like, I don't want to go back to eating three because she's eating twice a day. I go, I never eat, I never, when maybe when I'm on vacation, eat 3 times a day because my body just doesn't need it. And I look at it as kind of a pain in the
I'm
butt.
not like hungry.
So I'm not hungry and I know I'm not moving as much as I used to when I was younger. When I was like running way more, just doing way more in the gym I was spent hours in the gym because that's what I like to do. And now
Yeah, yeah,
an hour
yeah,
the most. So yeah, I'm not as
yeah. I don't even need to. Yeah,
yeah, you don't
yeah,
need, and that's why I do love fasting for especially for women, older women too, as women age. It's so because there's just it's not like a diet process. It's just literally you're the when you eat, you're nourishing yourself when you do fast or when you do the longer fasts. So
right.
somebody
Yeah,
it's not good for because you're moving so much, but somebody that if you have an office job or you know you're not going to be able to move, your body doesn't need that much energy, right? And I think there's some studies about when you actually get outside in the sun, how the sun and breathing actually gives you energy. So there's more than just
right,
taking in food. So it's
right.
the
Yeah,
body has energy on it, like months and months of energy on
right.
as fat, right?
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, so literally, but I think the whole idea of this talk is that we are always looking for we're always looking for this type of diet that because we all know, like if I gave you $1 million at the end of the month, if let's say I told you, I'll give you $1 million at the end of the month if you lose 10 pounds. Would you fit? And you can't talk to anybody about it. You can't like get a trainer. You just have to lose 10 pounds. Would you know how to do it? Like this is a normal person. Would you know? They'd be like, I'm gonna get up and walk. I'm not gonna eat past like noon. Like you just know how to do it.
most people would probably figure it out. Yeah,
You
most
would
people
do
would
it because
figure
you'd
it
be
out.
motivated.
Yeah,
Be like,
they'd
I'm
be like, "Oh, I can't eat those donuts that are in the
yeah,
office, right?
yeah,
I'm not going to eat those, right? Because I need to lose. I'll get
yeah.
this
And then
money. Yeah,
right, I get a million. So it's like to make it sustainable, it's just you keep some of those habits, right? It's like you have to go on that diet to get there, but then what habits do I want to keep? And that's
right,
where the education comes in. That's where like people like the
right,
fitness trainer comes in. And that's why I've had trainers over the years. I've done different
right,
gyms. Yeah.
right.
Staying
Yeah,
staying
yeah,
motivated. But stop looking. I think all these diets and um all these like special things. I'll come to this gym, we're doing this. It's just do it. Just it's just a distraction for a lifestyle. What's the
yeah.
one most important thing? Because I can think of the one most important thing you would say to people for maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
Move,
Move in some way.
move,
I
move.
so my answer would be your your environment. So who
Yeah,
yeah, because
who you're around.
you're around because so I traveled with you and you're like, where are we going hiking? Like, let's go for a walk in the morning. And if and then I traveled with a group of friends that were like drinking the whole weekend. And I was like, I never traveled with them again because I was like, my environment was so that I had to separate myself to get some exercise. And
Right. You had to like, you're like, what am I doing? Yeah,
yeah,
like, yeah,
your environment.
yeah,
So if you can, and then I always had a group of friends that I went hiking with. So I traveled with them and we hiked and we ran. So that was like my lifestyle. So if you start
right,
a lifestyle where you join a gym and you make friendships and then you hang out with the people, they're not the people at the bar every night. They're the people getting up early.
right. Well, we would always talk about, the whole triathlon community.
Mhm.
You start to race, and the people outside are like, you're going to go ride 100 miles, and you're like, yeah, I go ride 100 miles. Like, what's the big deal? like you're around people who are going to ride 120, so you don't seem so weird.
Right. Yeah,
You're
exactly.
like, oh no, I'm just going to run 15 this week. They're going to run 25. You're like, no, I'm not that weird.
Yeah, you
They're
get
doing an ultra. They're doing an ultra. They have a 30-mile run. I'm just doing 10. You don't seem so crazy.
that's crazy. Yeah, you
Yeah.
get people that
Yeah. You start to hang around your environment. You start to hang around with people doing, yeah, the same kind of thing, not the people who want to go hang out at the bar. Again, not that you can't ever go to the bar once in a while,
Right.
but just it's yeah. You know, after work you go to the gym or you go for a run. You don't go to the bar, anymore. That's you gotta yeah, you gotta change. And we were talking about consistency. That is really the consistency beats perfection every time. Like every workout is not gonna be perfect. Every meal is not gonna be perfect, but
Over time.
that it's over time is why you're successful. It's not like you can have a bad workout, you can have a bad day of eating, but the next day you have to get back on track, right? It's not like, oh, I had a bad day, I'm just going to keep doing it. Or I didn't work out today, I'm going to just forget it. And tomorrow, I'm going to forget it tomorrow, I'm going to forget it tomorrow. We'll work out tomorrow. Like, get back, or like,
Yeah. Or the like
consistent.
consistency. That's even with like if you work out all the time, you can take a break on your vacation. But if you're not in that consistent mode, I would say when you're on vacation, like I don't go to the gym, but I also walk a lot or move. I make sure I'm moving a lot.
Yeah, you do something, right? Yeah.
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 Movement.
I usually work out when I go on vacation because
Yeah. When I go to, well, certain vacation, like we go to Florida,
yeah.
we always go to the gym, but
Oh
yeah.
yeah, like that's my favorite. I love to
Yeah. I
work
go to the,
out.
if I'm like in Europe, when I go to Europe, it's like I'm walking
Yeah, it just depends on where you're at, but you move. Yeah, you're not going to sit around. Yeah,
around.
have to
So,
move.
you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
um,
All right. Are we going to give some people some takeaways for this?
takeaways. Let's see.
Yeah, we're
Actionable
gonna
take.
yeah, give some takeaways to help everybody out, right?
Yeah, I think
Uh,
the first thing you have to ask yourself is like, what are you willing? And you truly have to ask yourself, like, how important it is to you to hit your fitness goal, whatever that is. Maybe you want to like lose weight. And are you willing, like, really take a deep dive? Like, I need to do these certain things. And it's really important to me because I don't like feeling this way. I don't like living this body. And just being okay with like I'm going to give these certain things up or I'm going to walk every morning no matter what and then take the steps to that the motivation like I'm going to call a friend, I'm going to do it with a buddy, I'm going to sign up for a gym. Like that I feel is the number one action step. Like get real about the small things you need to do and the shift that needs to happen.
like what is it going to take? Like what
What
is
is
it
it
really
going
going
to
to
take?
take?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
one action.
what is your support system around that too? What does that look like?
Yeah.
In your house, like do you live with someone else or a
Mm.
family? Do you live alone? Do you need someone to help you? Or do you live with a family? Do you have a partner or a husband, a wife, whatever, and a roommate? Are they not going to be supportive? Are they going to be supportive? Because if they're not, that's hard.
Yeah.
Like, or are they going to be, so yeah, yeah. And your environment with food, you know, if certain food is triggering, you can't have that around,
Mhm.
and I know, you know, like food generally for me isn't like there's
Trigger.
not a lot of triggering foods for me, you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
that is it.
Yeah.
But I know people do, like people like, oh, if I have, I can have a package of Oreos and there's ice cream in the house. Like I don't
It's
doesn't
not,
it
you want to
doesn't
eat the whole
doesn't appeal to me. Yeah, I'm not. But for a lot of people, yeah, that's. Oh, I would say what would be a triggering food? It's going to triggering food. Trail mix with chocolate in it. I'm going to eat the entire damn bag because you know why? There
Yeah.
are two ingredients in trail mix: chocolate and disappointment. Okay, there's two ingredients. So you know what I do? I don't buy trail mix generally and leave it in the house because if there's trail mix in the house, nuts, which is so calorie dense, and then the
Yeah.
chocolate. So yeah, I usually don't buy. So that would be my one trigger. Don't. I generally don't leave it in the house because I'll eat the whole bag.
That would be one thing that I would, one takeaway that I just thought of, and it's like the education around what actually is, what can, if you're trying to create a calorie deficit, like what to include. Like I would say, don't eat nuts are so hard to eat a small amount of because they're so
Yeah, like,
caloric.
oh, you can have 5 almonds. Who has 5 almonds?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I
Get
would
out of
like
here.
cut it out, cut out chips, cut out.
Just don't even, yeah.
But even like healthy foods, there's a list of like healthy foods that I would literally cut out because sometimes high fat, like the keto, you have to be really strict on keto. So the high
Yeah,
fat foods are very caloric. And I did this for a while and I was like, why can't I lose weight? And I was like I was eating towards the keto, but it's so caloric, right? Because like if you
yeah,
have
a lot of
guacamole,
calories.
there's a lot of, yeah, if you're sitting at dinner, you have the guacamole and chips, which we all love. I
It's
mean, who doesn't
fat,
love
yeah, which
that?
is so good.
It's
It's
very
yeah, a
caloric,
lot of calories, just a lot of
like
calories.
calories. So
Yeah,
yeah, so that is the education
yeah,
around things to cut
yeah,
out. Again, you don't have to do it forever, but if you're trying to create that caloric deficit,
yeah.
um, to cut out. Um,
We talked about anchoring your workouts to something you already do. So like after your morning coffee, go for a 20-minute walk or a 20-minute strength session, or like this is something that we used to do. We would do a long run and then we'd go to like sort of like we'd go to start like everyone would go to Starbucks, or we'd do a long ride and then like you'd have your coffee. It was sort of like this,
treat.
so it was like, yeah, you'd have a coffee and it was like you'd anchor it to something else. You can
Yeah,
anchor your exercise to something else that you would do anyway. Like, are you going to go have coffee? Sure. Well, then why don't you, before you have coffee or right after you have coffee, depending on how your morning is, go for your walk first before you have your coffee. Go walk
yeah,
for 30 minutes. Go, then you have your coffee. So like glue that to something that you're already doing that's a good habit. I mean, like, yeah,
yeah,
like anchor it to something, right? I think, you can do that, right? That's a good way to sort of put it into action. And
yeah,
then, yeah. And then also, like you mentioned earlier, a lot of people aren't big on journaling, but it is you don't have to be, this serious journaler to do it, but
mhm,
sort of writing things down it is an eye opener.
yeah. It's an eye opener.
Yeah, write down sort of like short-term goals, like where do I want to be in 30 days? Where do I want to be in 60 days? Where do I want to be in 90 days? And sort of check in, you know,
Yeah.
you know. So those are some like just really simple things you can do to sort of start building consistency.
Yes. And it could start even with like better sleep. That's something I'm working on right now, like getting to bed
Mhm.
a little earlier and sleeping better. Getting
Yeah,
enough. Yeah.
that's a
Uh,
hard one. Yeah,
it's a hard
excellent. Yeah. So
one.
yeah, so it's not going to necessarily be easy, but there's uh there's no magic, right? You got to stop looking for the easy button. That's
Yeah.
just a commercial. That's just a TV commercial, right?
Yes. Right.
Consistency, 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 the best version of you, right?
Yeah, and never give up on yourself. Like keep at it, even if like you fell back, keep at it. Right?
Yeah,
Stop.
absolutely.
It says start. Oh yeah, start looking for the version of you that refuses to quit. Like if you had one day where you slid back, it's like get up the next day. So
Right. Yeah.
be like we said, untamed and
Untamed,
unapologetic.
apologetic. Yes, that's right. We'll see you next time.
You on next one.